I know APC do not like challenge. They hate when people question them. They hate when people are confrontational to their government. And that statement by that is saying they should not swear in Tinubu, they should not swear in an unconstitutional government. They found it daring, confrontational and challenging, so they are angry. They are now looking for every means possible to just make sure that they arrest Peter Obi. So now they're not even arresting that made that statement. It's for Lai Mohammed to say, yeah, arrest Peter Obi for treason because he did not caution his vice presidential candidate. Let me ask a question. Why hasn't Tinubu been arrested for not cautioning MC Oluomo in Lagos? Why hasn't Tinubu been arrested for not cautioning Festus Keyamo, Femi Fani-Kayode, and Bayo Onanuga when they were making inciting comments, divisive comments that could cause violence, ethnic bigotry statements? Why wasn't Tinubu arrested for treason? And that's why I like Arise TV News channel. I like the way they analyze this thing. They give me joy. Honestly, you guys should watch this video.
Lai Mohammed is not a baby. He was born in 1969. He's 53 years old. Okay, so he's an individual entity or in his own regard. The joint ticket between him and Peter Obi does not make him a boy to Peter Obi. If that is how they operate in Alhaji Lai Mohammed's party, well, that's not how other political parties, function. So Lai Mohammed has rights as an individual within the constitution to express his own opinion. Yes. So I think it will be also an issue to say because Lai Mohammed says something, then Peter Obi is guilty. Well, our constitution, again, I keep quoting it because Alhaji Lai Mohammed is a lawyer. Section 36 gives the right to fair hearing. There's nowhere in the constitution of Nigeria where a man can be punished for the infraction of another. Lai Mohammed, if he has said anything that Alhaji Lai Mohammed objects to, the man that should be held responsible is Lai Mohammed. Absolutely. And he's still alive. He's in a position to defend himself. And that point is important because Peter Obi himself has gone further to say that he does not support violence, he does not support anything that is against the law, and that his commitment as a man who has been favored by the Nigerian judiciary on more than 2 occasions in the past is to go through due process, go through the courts, and that is what he has been doing. But to say that Ahmed said something, Peter Obi is guilty, no, that's not what the law says.
Speaking about digging up dirt on Peter Obi, releasing propagandas on Peter Obi by, APC camp, why was it that it was Festus Keyamo that tweeted about it first on Twitter, saying why didn't Peter Obi tell the whole Nigeria why he was in detention in UK? Meanwhile, nobody knew about it. Now, Femi Fani-Kayode is saying the same thing. Why are they so particular about Peter Obi detention in the UK, knowing full well that it was the APC that cloned his international passports? And seeing the subtle attack from Femi Fani-Kayode against Peter Obi, it speaks volume. Now I want to ask, what are the APC afraid of about Peter Obi? Because this digging of dirt on someone is just too much, propagandas upon propagandas, more like witch hunting. It's becoming too much. They don't say arrest him for treasonable felony today. They'll say he's about to start an interim government. What are the APC so afraid of about Peter Obi? I think there's more to this.
Whatever happens, we must stay the course because we want to build a new Nigeria. We want a Nigeria where Nigerians will be proud to say they are Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, committed Nigeria. I don't have any dual nationality. So this is my own country. And I've said it that even if there's war outside this country, if I'm outside, I'll come back because it's my country.
Peter Obi's claim that he never knowingly broke the law speaks volumes and suggests that he broke it unknowingly. Sadly for him, not knowing that you broke the law when you actually broke it is no defense, and in any case, there are some crimes that are known as strict liability offenses, which do not even need any premeditation. He went further to ask if it is drug dealing, drug smuggling, human parts trading, human trafficking, fraud, misappropriation of funds, money laundering, 419, murder, conspiracy, treason, or all of the above.
I'm glad that FFK has finally found his legal certificate good use in terms of trying to investigate and search out and perhaps propose a crime that Mr. Peter Obi would have committed to be detained in the United Kingdom. Having lived in the UK himself and being a lawyer, I would assume that FFK would know the kind of crimes that would have you detained and be released. Obviously not trafficking, not carrying of drugs, not murder. So he was being mischievous with that statement.
Yes.
However, I do also think that he's not very sure who the president-elect is, because they keep treating Mr. Peter Obi as if he were the president-elect.
Exactly.
Holding him to account, asking him questions, telling him to address the people as if he were the president-elect. Where is the person who, as we have said on this show earlier on, is accountable to the Nigerian people because he's now a state actor? Mr. Peter Obi is as Nigerian a citizen as any one of us. The good thing about him is that he seems to hold himself accountable to the people by speaking regularly to the people, usually not through a proxy or through a release statement. And so when we ask questions like this, it's actually, for me, kudos to the man that he is, that people feel that he's been so transparent that they can ask him anything and he's able to respond.
Yes.
I believe that the questions that FFK should pose should be to the president-elect on questions around allegations that have been made about his drug trafficking history, allegations that have been made concerning the recent passport, his Guinean passport, and to remember that he is the one that's accountable to the Nigerian people.
Absolutely. Well, okay, I'll come to you. I mean, I'd love for you to also, touch on Peter Obi's comment where he said that, he's a committed Nigerian and he does not have dual citizenship. I don't know. A lot of people on social media have been saying that it's, like a subtle jab at the current situation going on with Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his alleged Guinean passport.
Well, yes. I mean, I wouldn't blame him if he finds a subtle way of saying some of these things, but there's no need for subtlety in some cases. If you're looking for subtlety, it's the likes of Femi Fani-Kayode that you have to mention things like that too. Sometimes they don't even know how to spell the word, because you get surprised. I've gotten to a point where my thick skin is struggling to stay on my body, because some of the things that the likes of Femi Fani-Kayode have said, I just begin to wonder, how did we get here? But when you look at the trajectory, when you look at the history of some of the things that the likes of Femi Fani-Kayode has said, you will not be surprised, because if a man speaks from both sides of the mouth, 2011 you hear what they said, 2013 you heard, and you go down, all you need to do is Google the name and look at all the videos, and you see someone who abuses Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and abuses Buhari and goes back to say Buhari is the best and goes back to say Asiwaju Tinubu is the best, and all these kind of things. I think Nigerians just have to wake up to the fact that there are certain people that we should never, ever take seriously or listen to. That is the bottom line.
Absolutely. Dr. Abati, your comment on Peter Obi's statement.
Well, okay, the point that, Femi Fani-Kayode is making, there is a nuance to it. He's saying that one part of Mr. Peter Obi's statement says, human beings have weaknesses, but I will not knowingly break the law. And he made the point that in law, whether you knowingly or unknowingly broke the law, you are not allowed to break the law.
Right.
So what exactly is it that happened? His main submission is that, okay, tell us what happened about the detention on Friday, April 12 in London at the Heathrow Airport. So that question, I don't think is too much for him to ask. And also, it took Mr. Peter Obi a whole week to address the allegation frontally. However, Tironi Fade the spokesperson of the Labour Party had issued a statement saying that, look, this is a case of impersonation. This is also a case of Nigerian politicians trying to sabotage Mr. Peter Obi. But I think the more important part of it is that Mr. Peter Obi, in the process, appealed to his supporters.
Yes.
That, look, there will be all kinds of things. There will be propaganda.
Yes.
There will be issues.
I like that
and
you
he
raised
said,
propaganda, Dr. Abacha, because I want you to pull up that picture, the director, if you have it, which is the picture of Abike Dabiri and Peter Obi superimposed, that fake picture, that fake news that was circulated on social media, Dr. Abati, about propaganda. Pick up on that.
yeah, so he made a point that, look, people are fighting back. And it's political, and that he's appealing to his supporters, you know, just to remain calm and realize that the best way to challenge anything is through the court.
Yes.
And I think that that statesmanly statement, you know, is very important.